I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where I am going. I don't know if tomorrow will be better or if tomorrow will only bring more confusion, more pressure, more pain. My life feels heavy. My life feels stuck. My life feels like something I am carrying on my shoulders every single day. But look very carefully. What you call my life is often not your life at all. It is a story moving inside your mind. It is a collection of thoughts, fears, memories, regrets, expectations, and worries. The mind gathers all these things together and says, "This is me. This is my life." But is it really? Your life is this moment. Your life is the breath that is moving in your body right now. Your life is the awareness that is listening. Your life is not the fearful story the mind repeats again and again. The mind says, "What will happen to me?" The mind says, "Why did this happen?" The mind says, "Why did that person say this?" The mind says, "I should have done better." The mind says, "I have failed." The mind says, "Nothing will change." And because you believe every thought, the thought becomes your reality. This is how suffering begins. Not because life is always unbearable, but because the mind creates a picture of life that feels unbearable. The mind takes one situation and turns it into a whole identity. One failure becomes, "I am a failure." One rejection becomes, "Nobody loves me." One difficult day becomes, "My whole life is broken." But the truth is much deeper than the story. There is something in you that can see the thought. There is something in you that knows a thought is happening. There is something in you that can notice fear, sadness, anger, and confusion. That noticing is not fear. That noticing is not sadness. That noticing is not confusion. That noticing is awareness. And awareness is the beginning of awakening. Awakening does not mean becoming special. It does not mean becoming perfect. It does not mean escaping the world. Awakening means you begin to see that you are not only the voice in your head, you are the one who can hear the voice. This is a very deep discovery. For most of your life, the mind has been speaking, and you have believed it completely. The mind says, "I am not enough," and you believe it. The mind says, "My future is dark," and you believe it. The mind says, "I cannot live like this," and you believe it. But one day something changes. You hear the thought, but you do not completely become the thought. A little space appears, and in that space freedom begins. Maybe the thought is still there. Maybe the fear is still there. Maybe the problem has not disappeared. But now there is something else too. There is awareness. There is presence. There is a quiet place inside you that is not destroyed by every thought. This quiet place has always been there. You do not need to create it. You do not need to achieve it. You do not need to wait 10 years to find it. It is here now, underneath the noise of the mind. Take one conscious breath, just one. Feel the air entering the body. Feel the body receiving the breath. Feel the breath leaving the body. For that one moment, you are not lost in the story. You are here. And when you are here, life is no longer only a problem to solve. Life becomes something alive again, something real, something simple, something sacred. The mind will return. It may say, "This is useless." It may say, "This will not help me." It may say, "I need answers." But even these are only thoughts. Notice them. Do not fight them. Do not hate them. Do not push them away. Just notice. A thought comes. A thought goes. An emotion comes. An emotion goes. A fear comes. A fear goes. But you remain. This is the secret most people miss. They spend their whole life trying to fix the story of me. They try to improve the image. They try to protect the identity. They try to control what others think. They try to become someone in the eyes of the world. But the deepest peace does not come from improving the false self. It comes from seeing through it. The ego is made of thought. It needs past and future to survive. It says, "Look what happened to me." Then it says, "Look what might happen to me." It moves between memory and imagination, but presence is now. Presence does not need a story. Presence is simple. Presence is silent. Presence is powerful. When you are present, even ordinary things become alive. The sound around you, the feeling of your hands, the movement of breath, the space in the room, the stillness behind everything. You begin to realize that life was never absent. You were absent from life. You were lost in the mind, and now you are returning. This return is awakening. Not a dramatic event, not a magical experience, not something far away. It begins in the smallest moment, when you become aware. When anger rises and you notice it before speaking. When fear comes and you breathe instead of becoming completely lost. When sadness appears and you allow it to be there without creating a story around it. When the mind says, "My life is over," and you quietly see, this is a thought, that seeing is freedom. Slowly, the old identity becomes weaker. The story may still appear, but it no longer has the same power. You do not need to believe every mental voice. You do not need to follow every emotional storm. You do not need to become every problem. You can be the space in which all of it appears. And this space is not empty in a negative way. It is full of peace, full of intelligence, full of life. This is why awakening is sometimes called liberation. Liberation means freedom from the prison of the mind, freedom from the false self, freedom from the endless voice that says me, my life, my problems, my future, my pain. Of course, practical life continues. You still take action. You still work. You still speak. You still make decisions. But now action comes from presence, not from panic. Words come from awareness, not from unconscious reaction. Decisions come from clarity, not from fear. This changes everything. You do not have to wait for the whole world to become perfect before you can be peaceful. You do not have to wait for every problem to disappear before you can touch stillness. Stillness is available now, even in difficulty, even in uncertainty, even when the mind does not know what will happen next. The mind wants certainty. Life gives presence. The mind wants control. Life gives this moment. The mind wants a perfect story. Life gives reality, and reality is always simpler than the story. So when you feel lost, do not immediately ask, how do I fix my whole life? First, come back. Come back to the breath. Come back to the body. Come back to the present moment. Come back to the awareness that is already here. From that place, the next step becomes clearer. Not the next 100 steps, just the next step. Life is not asking you to solve everything in one moment. Life is asking you to be present in this moment. And when you are present in this moment, you are no longer completely trapped. A little light enters, a little silence enters, a little peace enters, and that little opening is enough. Because awakening begins as a small space, but slowly it changes the way you experience everything. You realize you are not the noise. You are the awareness behind the noise. You are not the storm. You are the space in which the storm is moving. You are not the story of my life. You are the living presence in which life is happening, and that presence is already free.